Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. Thursday painting. More building tonight. We're going to get Thanos built, but there's more bits and pieces. I might touch some of the scenery bases up, scenic base pieces up tonight. Well, who've we got already? Hello, Mark. Hello, Ash. Hello, Egan. Hello, Smog. And good evening, Tomo. So, tonight, we're going to do... This is the box for the monthly giveaway. Thanos. We're going to crack it open tonight, start building it. I've only got a couple of weeks left to get on this, so it needs to be ready, and you guys need to see it actually going on and getting painted to see what the giveaway is going to be for. What else tonight? Don't think we've got much extras going on. Been too busy working, doing scenery, playing games. So we had our first game of... Yesterday, me and Ronan played Infinity's Aristaria, which is a hex-based sports drone game, which was cracking. It really was good. Really enjoyed that. And then today, Mark, we've played Frosty Graves Frosty Graves 2nd edition. It's a cracking game. Really enjoyed it today. The basics of it are you buy the book, you build a 10-man warband out of any miniatures you want, and you play. You don't have to use their miniatures or anything like that. You're just using their rule book. I'll quickly show you the... So, my warband, which some of you saw yesterday, was... this is Death from Discworld Miniatures, and he's got Death of Rats behind him. Good evening, Faleki. Good evening. Oh, don't know if I said good evening, Smog. So, that's my wizard, and then his daughter Susan is the apprentice. So, wizard and apprentice. Then we went with... I had 2 archers. Obviously, Necromancer, Skelly archers, 2 of them. These are the Elder Scrolls Delve archers. You get 3 of them, so I've used that. Nice one. I have some thugs, which are the whatever they are from Elder Scrolls as well. I actually had 3 thugs today. So 3 thugs, 2 of them fellas. I used their leader as a treasure hunter. So he was the one that was grabbing the treasure and making a leg for it. And then I had 2... thieves. Now these are going to be my thieves. I'm going to have a couple of these as thieves for my warband, keeping in the necromancer ways. But I just used 2 ring wraiths for today's game, and it was good. We coined a phrase, effing yaum and effing yoink. So basically, my guys ran in, nicked as much of the loot as they could, and ran off the back of the board. And that did really well. It secured quite a decent victory. I'm saying it was a decent victory, it wasn't. I only just scraped it. And I had to pull some major spell casting off that I was very lucky in some rolls. So yeah, played that, and that is really good. Really enjoying that. we're enjoying it so much that after discussions with Ronan today, we are going to do Frostgrave January, which is going to involve painting Frostgrave miniatures, painting scenery for Frostgrave, making scenery for Frostgrave. Yeah, so loads of Frostgrave content next month, and along with that, Ronan might be here, or if not, he might be along later. But it was just a marginal victory. It wasn't anything major. I didn't like. It was more luck than skill. And then there was a lot of stuff like understanding the rules. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It was a cracking game and a load of fun. I can see it being one of those games where you do something and you're talking about it for months afterwards, because it is just quite amusing. Yeah, I think a further grasp of the rules and Ronan would have stomped me. As I said, I got very lucky on a couple of bits. I'm just starting on the... This is Thanos. So I'm going to start clicking some bits for Thanos while I chat. So we had a couple of bits and pieces where we needed to get our heads around the rules and stuff like that. But other than that, it was pretty simple. Most fights involve rolling 2 dice, adding a couple of modifiers. Whoever wins the battle then uses that dice result to inflict damage on the other person minus their armor stats. So it's pretty simple. The other thing is the rule book is out. We had a handful of copies that we'd got just to fill out an order sort of thing, and we got a handful of copies and they were like £17 each. You can pick them up all over for round about that. Yeah, I don't play games, so yeah. Isn't it strange that during lockdown I seem to be playing more games than I would if it wasn't? I think 2021 is going to start off quite interesting as well, so I don't think we're out of the woods yet. So, not doing the usual thing and not reading any of the rules. Start. So yeah, another part of what we're going to be doing for January is don't tell Martin, but we're going to steal Ronan. Shh, don't tell him. And Ronan's going to help us with some games nights on stream, getting actual games played, like Frostgrave and stuff like that. So one of my tasks over Christmas will be to build some nice Frostgrave scenery. I did some on the live stream, but I've not been able to find any amount. Oh, cool, mate. All the Digimons. yeah, we're going to actually do some games on the stream. Actual play games and video of me playing games as well, which I know some of you might get a little shocked at. Good evening, Archnin. Hope you're keeping well. So there's one Thanos boot. The good thing with the Thanos model, you can do an objective marker in it, because you get two heads. So you can do a head separate as an objective marker when Thanos loses his head. So I don't know what the difference is, if there is a difference. I think they're the same head as well. So yeah. Right, that's those two bits go together. I can drop bits. Just a little. Wow. And I'm guessing that will fit quite nicely into there. I'm saying guessing. I've built one of these before. I just can't remember how it goes together. Little bit of clean up one day. Yeah, so I've got a load of stuff that needs priming, some stuff for Tomo and loads of other bits and pieces that need priming over the weekend. So that was the whole idea of, if I can get this built up and primed, then it's in there ready to be. So which one? I'm gonna go with the one with the gems in. What, on my desk you'd be lucky to find places that haven't been coated in paint. It's either covered in paint pots or covered in paint itself. So there we go. Thanos with it. Yeah, well, if I put the happy one onto the on his actual head, and then an objective marker with the other one. Happy. There we go. Happy because he's got the Infinity Gauntlet with all the gems that he should have. Right. Let's check I got these the right way around. Coming down off the step, if I remember rightly. Yeah. don't know if anyone actually saw this week as well. Dystopian Wars has just gone up for pre-order over on War Cradle, who now War Cradle now own it, and it's Whaling Games that are doing the pre-orders, or stores that deal with War Cradle stuff. So that's how he's coming off that. Remember, whenever you hello, Martin. So yeah, remember when you glue Thanos body or any of the figures from Marvel Crisis to their bases to use super glue. Plastic glue doesn't work because they are two different plastics. So I'll leave Thanos stood there for a moment. So you get two bases in the set. You get one to put Thanos on, and one for when the next bit's built to... Where did I put it? It's over here. Have a blank on his base if Thanos is out and about, which is pretty cool. Dude, it is worth it. I haven't used my... It's the same airbrush as all of the Sotars, but yeah, dude, yeah, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. There's someone selling them on eBay for 130, and I'm not going to lie to you, I do actually possibly really want another one. I think if I did end up with another one, I would probably end up getting rid of my big Harder and Steinbeck one. I don't think I use it to the detail that's needed, or I'm not good enough to go to that kind of detail yet. Whether it's a 200 to 300 pound airbrush sat there just looking pretty on my desk that no one ever sees because it's such a mess anyway. Get to the point where is it worth it? Whereas a bright gold Sotar that I'm going to use and people get to see on the stream, maybe. I hope you've wrapped it up for Christmas as well, because I'm almost certain it was a Christmas present. Or Sarah wrapped it up for Christmas. But you will get the other money back, the dispute. I'm pretty sure of it. Oh. Yeah, I dare say you can have it now then. There's a lot of bits of plastic for his throne. Or his chair, throne. So, as a reminder, also we still have promo pulls live on the website. There is, I think, 20 of them left on there to pick up if anyone wants them today. We have the box. I put another 10 of K's metal cards in this week, and a load of other bean. Yeah, we have been waiting a while, but as I said, it is worth it, mate, trust me. So doing the usual and not needing instruction books or anything like that, having a look at it. So yeah, I'll try and remember that. There we are. Also, I was going to have a quick look at. Ooh, my eyes rest a second. Who is in the lead on the promo stuff? Where were we? There we go. It's all open and I can see things. So, at the moment, Archnin's top of the shop with £15, £10 for Doom Fairies, X-Wing Tavern War. So, Doom Fairies, X-Wing Tavern Wars, Ulfrix, Smog Monster, and Ash are all in joint second and third place. So, yes, as I say, it's going to be this painted Thanos when we've finished him. Top 5 will win it off one of the top 5 will win it off a dice roll. There we go. And that should just drop into that. So they will fit into there like so, either without him or with him. So, and Thanos is pretty cool. So that's the chair. There is a chair piece, which is pretty self-explanatory. Thank you very much, Ulfric. The tips are much appreciated. As I said before, it does keep us going, and I'm currently looking at getting stuff for next month's stream. So we have been scouring the interwebs for anything to do with Frostgrave or any companies that are doing Frostgrave products, which look cool. I know one thing, I need to order some more Vallejo snow. definitely. Yes, they only made 200 of the... there's a name on them. There is only 200 of this one. It is 2020 Year of the Sorter. So there is 200 out there. What number did you end up getting? Oh, does that just... Oh, that goes in the back of that. $85. I got 39 and Dave got 40. Okay, so first error in building is I've put the chair together back to front. Oh. I haven't, Ulfric. Where's that on? I haven't got it wrong. It's just I chose the wrong option for which way to put it together. Epic Game Star. Oh. Might have to have a look at that later. Don't know what you're on about, Mark. It's fine, look. Fits in there perfect. Ah, right. So, PC games. I don't know. I don't know whether I could get away with doing streams on games. I tried it with World of Tanks and I don't know. It might not... might just not be for me. I'll definitely have a look. I will take your undivided question. Hey, Dundad. We are doing the almighty Thanos. I'm just building him up tonight. This is the monthly giveaway figure. Basically, the top 10 contributors for the month, basically on a dice roll, one of them gets to win this amazing. It does go together like that. Amazing figure once I've finished painting it. All my magnet, I don't go to green stuff for the magnets because they just do what we do and buy them off either China or Mr. Magnet in the UK. If you look closely, a lot of the stuff that a lot of the stuff that Green Stuff World do tend to be available under if you just spend a bit of time looking for them. A lot of their products are just, they've found the product, they get them in bulk, and then they add their tag to them, sort of thing. Perfectly viable business practice. It's just, if you can't get them cheap, there is the same sort of stuff out there but different manufacturers. Right. But all the magnets I've bought in the past have just literally been eBay, or if I'm not in a rush, get a bulk lot from China. It'll take a few weeks to get here, but fraction of the price. I'm getting there, I think. Let's go to the instructions now. So the seat. So the ones to go into these bases, the big ones, I sourced them in the UK to get the size and to see if they were fine. But now I need to order probably 100, 150. I'll just order them from China. It's what all of the other stores, distributors and that do. So we're just cutting out the middleman, so to speak. Right, let me see these bits. So there's a bit that goes like that, and then there's a bit that goes into it. Nope. Nope. Might have been best to leave these on the sprues. Right, so that goes into there. We're getting somewhere. I'll pretty much guarantee if Green Stuff World have them, they're bought from China or somewhere like that and then repackaged. Countersunk. We bought 2 250, 300 not so long ago. They're the countersunk ones we use, and I got boxes of them. They all came in nice little fancy packet boxes, but I think there was probably maybe 200, 250, I think. We only paid like 30 quid for them. So that is definitely that one. That goes there. That comes into here somehow, but which one is C? Yeah, I use eBay. They may come from China, but they're definitely just eBayed. This is just going to pop into place at some point when I find the right bit. Like that, see? Aha. I knew it would happen. Yeah, they'll definitely be on there, mate. Maybe shut down at the moment for COVID, or shut down for, well, they don't have, could be a few reasons, but that's where they all come from. Remember rightly, there's not many places outside China that actually produce the neodymium magnets. I think that one goes there. Just nope. You know what's even worse? I should just go to the one we produced earlier. So that bit goes onto there. That bit onto there. And that bit onto there. And does it have a gap at the back? It does. God, this common sense stuff. There we go, Paul. It's good smog. Basically, the combat is pretty decent. It took us a couple of goes to get our head around it, but once we understood it fully, it's really quick. You're only literally making one roll each, and it's the comparison of the numbers on the D20. If you've got added fight, so if you're like a certain a warrior or a thug gets +2 to its fight value over something like one of the standard skellies that's part of the scenarios. Only gets a +1 fight, and then on top of that you can add a weapon stat to it if you equip them with a weapon. And it's a good, if you've got people who are wanting to do the campaign with you, it's cracking. I played it last year, probably 2 or 3 years ago with James, and it was a good laugh. James and almost certain it was James and Phil, we all played it. But there is also in April Stargrave coming out, which is the sci-fi version of it. The good thing with Frostgrave, even though they've brought out 2.0, all the resource material for all of the old campaigns in 1.0 are still perfectly usable. So there's a couple of bits in one of the books, a couple of bits in the 2.0 book that goes change this and this, and it's fully compatible. So even if you've invested 50-60 quid into all of the books as they came out first time round, they're still all perfectly usable. Yeah, we're getting there. It's starting to look like a throne. But I do understand what you mean about Gaslands. We were playing Gaslands, Snowy comes on here, and I think it was our first game. We were just having a bit of a daft laugh, and he T-boned me. I was basically dead, couldn't do anything, couldn't move forward, but because he T-boned me and pushed me over the line, I still counted as winning. And that was 100% luck over judgment or skill or anything like that. Oh, okay, you're wrong. Gaslands is fun if you play the right people. And you just do it as a, what's the phrase, beer and pretzels game for a daft laugh. Try not to take it too seriously, because as you say, it is more down to luck and chance and than actual tactics and skill and making right choices. Definitely made the right choice, got there. Yeah. So that's what we've got to make it look like. Thanos goes into that, like so. And there we go. Needs cleaning up, but we'll get that all cleaned and ready to go. So again, most of that was just using the contactor, Revel contactor. And there we go. What I'm going to do now, because Thanos will be, is search out any of the snotty bits, and I'm just using the flat edge of the knife just to take up any of the mould lines and any of the bits that are like the edges of where the sprue was cut out. These cutters, there's hardly anything there to deal with, but it's always nice to make sure. Yeah, head's fine, arm's fine. Cool. This one does take a bit, but I'm going to wait till it dries because there's quite a few bits there. I'll need just a... Only takes a couple of seconds to go over it. Fuck that. This will be painted in a grey primer. Can't remember what we did Thanos in last time, but I think grey, and then we did silver all over, and then blue, I believe, the clear blue to get the metallic body. It looks fantastic with the metallics. Oh, what time is it? Yeah, I'm at a natural stop, so what I will do is I'll dig out the promo box. Dun, dun, dun. I still need the screen, so I'll put that to one side for now. Promos, where are you? So, if anyone hasn't seen this before, this is the promo box. We have myriads of cards inside. X-Wing and Legion at the moment. We are going to put some Armada in. It's not going to be as much. I've got it the wrong way around. I knew I had. There we go. Oh, they had guns. They looked awkward there. So yeah, the promo pull is basically a 5-card pull out of here. All the money goes again towards the stream, filling this back up mainly, but for other stuff like this time, like the Thanos and stuff like that, all the money goes back into picking bits for you guys as much as us. So we have there are probably 19 left now, or maybe more. I can't remember how many we put in last night. Check it. There we go. He says opening it up. So yeah, anyone wants any more while we've got it all open? It is promo pull. That's the one. So Ash, let's see what we've got you, or what we can get you. Just trying not to make a mess. There we go. So, number 1, the diamond boron missiles. I need something to prop them up against. So, you can see it. Pop end. Diamond boron missiles. Spare parts canister. Proton rockets. First order provocateur. This is one of the very much unreleased promos for X-Wing at the moment. These are the ones with the new game stuff on the back. Basically it's a quick build, but you get an experience tracker, and they do extra stuff as the game goes on. So it's a new format that they brought out, but they haven't had chance to get the promos out to people. And Yeah. These are all sticking together. 1 second. That's better. You nearly got 4 cards there. So. And one of the very first shield upgrades. So this shows you how these are very hard to get hold of, because it's got shield upgrade for 2.0 on one side, and it's got the 1.0 upgrade on the other. So pretty decent run, Ash. I wouldn't say it was a Martin run, because Martin just hits every top end promo that you could. But yeah, 4 cards you can actually use. What can't you use? Shield, Provocateur, Proton Rocket, Spare Parts Canister, Diamond Bar. You should be able to use all of them. Maybe he's not diamond boring missiles. Good evening, Snowy. First order. Ash. So, yep. There you go, Ash. I'll sort them with the other stuff that you've got to pick up, and you can come and get them. If anyone else wants a promo pull, just shout up. We have them available all night. If I don't catch okay, I'll do Jack's, because Jack. Oh, I just broke the computer. Is everyone still okay? So we're calling this the spirit of Martin to pick yours, are we? So, first one for Jack is Scarif Base Pilot. I think that's got the 1.0 on the back of it as well. Number 2, the Bravo Flight Officer. Number 3, Logistics Division Pilot. And one of the brand new, that are definitely not out in the UK. It's one of the new in Rebel, they're the upgrade sets, promo cards. These sets haven't even been run yet in the UK. These kits haven't even been run in the UK. And I won't show you the Alderanian Guard one. I'll put the there we go. It was the Outer Rim Patrol pilot. Just paying Snowy. So yes, that you got. I know it's the Rebel version, but I'm sure. Yeah, we can all blame Martin for that one. So I'll put that with your paint and everything, Jack, as well, because there's still definitely paint there for you. Pen. Jack. Oh, wow, Snowy. Dear. Oops. Clicking buttons in the wrong places. And they are fulfilled. Jack, I'm going to Blackpool tomorrow, so I won't be here. Sorry. I won't. I'm not sure what time we'll be back, cause we're doing scenery delivery tomorrow. I'll see you in Blackpool. Yeah, you can do. Yeah, we've done about 3 or 4 tables worth of scenery for Lazy Dragon Gaming in Hartlepool. In Blackpool, not Hartlepool, because Hartlepool's not a 2.5 hour drive away like Blackpool is, that we're doing tomorrow. Gratefully, Ronan is coming with us. So, but I am most definitely about. Yeah, I was going to say Jack will just jog on over there. Jogging over there. God, that. Arg. Yeah, 3 or 4. 3 or 4 sets so far. I've been doing other stuff in between, Snowy. Like listing lots of Digimon cards, building stuff to play Frostgrave with, painting stuff in here. I even finished, look, they're 2 fully finished figures ready to go, or ready to be collected. That one's nearly done. I just need to do some highlights. Magneto and his compatriot, or Toad, are nearly ready to send. There's only an hour or so's left on each one. And so if anyone and I've been the first time I get to play some games and people are picking on me for it. Yeah, so yes, we played Frostgrave yesterday and Frostgrave today and Aristaria yesterday. Both very good games, both games that we are definitely going to be playing a lot more of. Frostgrave's got me a bit hooked. So much so that we're definitely going to be doing Frostgrave January. I think it's a bit fitting as well. So, Frostgrave have got some amazing scenery that we've picked up. So this was one of those, we've discussed it before. It's a, well, I've split one of the back. Yeah. A bigger, wow. Stop picking on poor Ronan's small hands. We are very lucky. There's one of my friends lives alone, so we've been able to bring him into our bubble, and he's also quite an avid gamer as well, so been very lucky, and he's been helping me work, so it's been a bit of a swings and roundabouts sort of thing. So the Frostgrave, we have got the complex temple, sacred temple, and this is, no idea why I bought all of this. Free workforce, yes. Then I have got the Living Museum piece. I'm going to take it out of this because this just keeps making a mess. There's your picture frames, so that's safe. There's no such thing as factions. Look at that, Snowy. The Silent Tower. You knew I'd buy it. And then the Haunted Houses. So the way Frostgrave works, Jack, is you pick a wizard that you like. The best way to explain it is you decide. Yeah, you decide on a wizard. You pick a wizard, and then that wizard picks a school of magic. Yeah, it doesn't mean that, very much like D&D, you can have one warband but have it set up, because it just goes down onto like a D&D character sheet. So you have a wizard sheet, the name and all that sort of stuff, and your figure represents that. So you have a wizard, an apprentice, and then your warband of thugs and thieves and all that sort of stuff. But what you do get is the choice of which school of magic to follow. There's Chronomancer, Elementalist, Enchanter, Illusionist, Necromancer, Sigilist, Soothsayer, Summoner, Thaumaturge, and Witch. When you choose one, you then get to choose spells that they can use. They all have 8 spells from their own unstable sort of thing. So the Necromancer has 8 skills he can use, but then he takes 3 other spells. So you take 3 from your own, 3 from an aligned faction, which is Chronomancer, Summoner, or Witch, and then 2 from 2 different neutral alignments. And then you can't pick any that you're opposed to. You can pick them up through finding stuff in the game, so it's a +6. So if you were to basically choose to use, like Necromancer I was using today, one of their spells is Bone Dart, and it is an 8 to cast. So I roll it and I get 10, it fires and it does its stuff. If I wanted to do a witch's spell, which I've got Poison Dart, it's also an 8 to cast, but because it's not my spells, and it's from an aligned set of spells, it's +2. So I'd have to roll a 10 to be able to cast it. And then if I went to a neutral one, it's +4 to the spell value. So all the spells are in the book. Enchanter, Elementalist, and stuff like that. So to do it, you basically have to... Where's Necromancer? I know Necromancer because it's the one I've been... 10. It can go up and down. You can lose characters, but you can buy them back in. I'll show you that in a second. We are going to do this in January quite a bit, so you will get sick of seeing this sort of stuff. Summoner, Thaumaturge, Elite the Mentalist. Yeah, Ellie the Mentalist. You've definitely been hanging around with John too much. Right, Chronomancer, Elementalist, Enchanter, Necromancer. So, Bone Dart, as I was saying, Bone Dart's a 10 to cast, line of sight, and it fires a small sharp shard of bone and hurts the person it hits. Some have an 8 cast value, some... Strike Dead is basically 18 to cast, and it does what it says on the tin. It basically kills someone outright. It's very hard to cast because you roll a d20, and yeah, it's an 18, 19 or 20. You take that. No, well, I doubt that. But yes, it's too big. I didn't see... I think the Doctor Who stuff's too big, mate. It's quite big. Tomo, if you went, I want a human wizard and human band for this, I could dig stuff out for it. GW stuff fits perfect. It's 28 mil. That stuff that I got from Matthew, there's loads of stuff. We were going to look at it today, but the game went on a bit long. We're going to tidy up tomorrow in the garage just before going over to Frozen. Yeah, I think it is a bit big, mate. And there's definitely no ray guns and stuff like that in it. It might work for the... will it work for the other one? I think we've got some pictures of some bits kicking about. So we're going to do a bit on... I might get some primer down on him as well. Because he's a dwarf anyway. He's a big dwarf, but he's still... We noticed today... Yes, the Penguin Warband. I saw it the other day after you mentioned it. It's class. But the sky's the limit. You could do... as I say, I'm doing Death from Terry Pratchett's books. You could do stuff from... Well, Tomo's already got half a warband in his stuff from Elder Scrolls. Yeah, or a large dwarf. What was that on? That... the overgrown dwarf that does the tunnelling on... Yeah, I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, you can use whatever you want. That's the brilliant thing about it. So, gallery. There's a lot in the gallery. I don't think I've shown any of that. So, I'll go over to the gallery and we can have a chat. Large dwarf carrot. No, what is the Artemis Fowl? He's an oversized dwarf in that. The story of Artemis Fowl or something. And... Oh, I didn't press it to come on. Oh, there we go. So... We definitely have some graffiti. Yes, you best put your sunglasses on. You at least took you 3 attempts to get it into the right place, Paul, but you eventually got it there. So this is some of the graffiti done by Jack after a lesson off Ash. Mulch Diggums, that's it. The oversized dwarf. God, I need to watch that again. That's class, that film. So yeah, the master, the apprentice has become the master. That is cracking graffiti. Mark, I'm not sure whether this is with the I think there's a couple more after this of Mark getting his Catan finished. Ash doing World Eaters stuff with only 3 teeth. Doing practice bits and pieces on the workbench, and then the full-size teeth around the World Eaters at the start, and then showing me the Mark getting his katana, the Among Us crew in green, and more work done on the World Eaters. That does look class. Yes, definite wood for sheep. So a lot of Ash's graffiti work all together in his lovely photo booth. And then Ash going on a bender. That was the back as I was building up the layers on the cloak. More Catan. Is it Kyle? Kyle Catan? Oh, well. That base is lovely. Do like that blue. The blue over the black looks cool. This is where we get very upset with arching. I'm not taking a drink behind here, honest. Yes, there's a skull on the base. Yeah, what blue is it, Mark? Yeah, Pro Krill aren't in the UK yet. We do have a couple. We have their clear set that I managed to get before the company in the UK stopped sorting it. Really want to get my hands on a set of Pro Krill paints. They are fantastic to work with. They are a bit... take a bit of getting used to, but once you're used to them, they're very good paints. Cornwolf getting his Captain America on. Talisar contrast. Yeah, I get that. Yes, I had to learn quite a bit with just the clear stuff. Yeah, Archnin will send me his full set for free. I'm sure he'll be happy to do that. While he's at it, do you want a set as well, Jack? We'll get him to send us both a set over. This is one of Ash's projects that he needs to get finished. We've been discussing a couple of bits and pieces. Yeah, that sounds nice. Trying to get Ash to get some commission work put up. He didn't say no, Jack. That's what I'm taking from it. So, yeah, Ash has been getting some bits and pieces, and he's going to start doing some work to put up on eBay himself. Cool. I'll get a list started. And we have... was it Egan? Yeah, Egan's photo booth set up. And something else he's printed. I think Egan should be investing in a resin printer. The quality of the stuff he's printing and painting wise, I think he would really benefit from it. Yeah, I contacted Element and they said they weren't looking at doing it, so I was gutted. There was rumours that Element were going to do it. I don't think anyone in the UK at the moment is going to look for anything outside of the UK. We're hearing of so many. We've had two emails through so far from European companies. I can't, Jack. There's just so much red tape now. There's so much red tape from Europe that two of our suppliers have actually just cancelled all pre-orders with us because they're not willing to go through the red tape to deal with the UK. I just feel as though we're probably going to be sending more stuff out than getting in because we've got very little that we need to do. I've been looking at all the ins and outs of it, and we're being very, not generous in money, but work-wise, there's very little to do for us to export stuff. But for companies, for companies sending into the UK, it depends what the company does, Mark. If they're exporting, then I think they're going to be laughing. Yeah, but getting stuff into the UK, I think, is going to be interesting. We'll see. Well, no one knows the full ins and outs of it yet, so it's going to be one of those things we'll have to see. But as of now, I've had loads of pre-orders cancelled. At the end of the day, it's actually saved me some money because the lines weren't too. Yeah. Yeah, the 2 lines I'd stopped doing, but I was tied into the pre-orders. So some of the stuff we've got to pre-order 6 months in advance, and the release dates got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, and they won't be in this year now. So there's like, it was about £3,000 or £4,000 worth of stuff that I didn't really want, but I can't turn around and you can't. Once you put a pre-order in, you can't cancel it. But they may have saved me a lot of heartache in the end. So up and down at the moment. So that is Dave's Ultramarines that he's working on. Still think they should be black bases. This is Ronan's paint setup and his new OT light. Very nice LED OT light. And his paint station setup's looking cracking. I love lamp. So this is some of the Orders scenery, and it has the Doom Fairies logo. So Martin must have been out with his rattle can, tagging some. I think it's the water station. And the rust build up, lovely rust. And then we have Mr. Standard's done some quite dull, laid back, not that bright X-Wing ships. Are those the bits that you're wanting there, Paul? Do I have any of mine kicking about? Yeah. Right. So is that just glued to the bottom of the ship, the ball? And then that's got the... Ronan getting his scenery updated, fixed. Right, I'll show you how I do mine. I don't know if it'll help you any, but at least I can get the... Well, I know where the bits are to do these. So yeah, that's the scenery Ronan's been updating, making it so you can have it thick wood or remove some of the bits to make it a thinned out wood. And bender on the end of a container. And the disapproving fish. And Ronan doing his Reavers. Ronan has done basically ethereal ghosts for all of his Space Marines that are looking cool. And Mark's Catan. It's just, I'll show you how to do mine, how I do mine, mate. It might help you if you can't find the stuff to do yours. I went past that one. Looks cool, Paul. Mark, sorry. It does look cool. More Necron-y stuff. All the Necrons. Is that B Tesseract glow? And that is it on that. Where was the... That was the stuff that came in. General trying to find the picture. I don't know where I put the picture of the scenery. So we've been painting some scenery and bits and pieces. That's Snowy's warband for his Frostgrave. Right, give us 2 seconds to have a look for. I'm printing some scenery for myself, for Frostgrave, some ruins and stuff like that. That was my warband that I'd started, and that was a really cool little halflings warband. That was today's fight with the hobbits against the living dead. All the archers down there, and these are Ronan's pictures from today. Running through to get the treasure. You can see the treasure just in the background there. Yeah, and it was a cracking game today. So let me close that down. And so if I go to close, don't think I've actually got any. I do have one kicking around. So this was when I was a bit more brave, Paul, and very dusty. So what we used to do was, with a very sharp, I think it's a 6.5mm drill, is drill into the bottom of the TIE fighter. And push the magnet up inside. As you can see, it does go in quite deep. But then what I've got for the actual stand is they are M3 dome nuts, and they are just screwed onto the top of. You snip the peg off the top of the stand and just screw it on, and then that is very strong. It doesn't move in the slightest. But what I've started to do, because I started to run out of ships and I didn't want to start breaking any too much, was instead of drilling in, I would just make it go flush, so it was flush to that, key that a bit, and then stick that onto the bottom, so it was just a little bit proud out the bottom, and then that would then sit on there like that. So you basically have that sat on the bottom of your fighter. And you can get these in black or silver. Spray the whole base to go with it, and it's quite easy. I haven't actually done it on the Tesseract one yet, so I would just pop that peg off there, just like that. I would key the Dremel again. Yeah, the thing is, these magnets, because they're a lot bigger than the ones you're looking for, are quite easy to find. I know the ones you're after are very hard to find. I know Rasta struggles to get them. That's why we came up with a different way. And a lot of the time you're not actually gluing the model. I just realised those wings aren't straight on that, and I haven't even pulled the wings off this one. So just a quick activator. So you would now paint that black to blend it in. And there you go. And the dome knots. Pound shop blue spot dome knots. You get about 100 of the 50. About 100 of the M3 ones. I'll put that one back with that. And it is as simple as going, snip that off, and you can even do it by finger. That goes on that. Goes nowhere. And as you know, the bomber's not exactly the lightest ship. It's got a lot of there you go, magnetise the Tesseract bomber as well now. So yeah, to do that you don't have to. I didn't drill the ship there. That's just got the magnet protruding, bit like you've got the magnet protruding from the shaft. The magnet protrudes from the ship. Thing is, this works for nearly every size ship going as well. All the way up to the big stuff. I haven't got any of my big ships kicking about. You just use the bigger dome nuts out of the set and put them into the bigger pegs. So you've got the big dome nut, you put it into the big flight stand. I use the Epic flight stands for them, and you just snip it down, screw it in. Maybe it's a bit of green stuff to hold the centre bit, but yeah, that's what we've done for them all the time. And they seem to work. I've never had any problems with them falling off, because there's a lot of surface area. There's more surface area on there than there is on the ball sort of thing. But as different people have different ways of doing it. That's just how we've done it, or how we do it. Most of our that's the way we've done it for most of our customers as well. Yeah. Right. So big. I didn't realise what time it was. Catch you soon, Egan. Take care. So yeah, with these, I'll probably put a grey undercoat on them. What I'm going to do is quickly go over this and find the snotty bits and clean them up. It's going to be a bit more interesting when we can actually get some games in as well as part of the monthly shows and stuff. Maybe do the games at weekends that we're covering. As I say, Ronan's quite eager to help out. and appear to be playing on the stream. I mean, appear on the stream, not appear to be playing on the stream. That sounded, yeah, weird. So following that round, nothing there. They do hide a lot of these bits very well within. All of the mold lines are right on the edges of stuff where it's sharp anyway, so you don't need to clean it. They do a good model. So there we go. Oh, there's on that. So yeah, like that one, it's not in a place that you're going to see anywhere because it's in between, and that one a bit awkward to get to, but again, it's not a bit that you're going to see that much. Right. Catch you next week, Archnin. Cheers for watching, mate. And stop teasing me with those paints. So, I'm going to use my normal brush for this one. I'm not going to use the gold one. Not yet. Going to save the gold one. Yep. It has a cleaning material. So, just going with the Miniature, the Badger, sorry. Steinel Res. Great. Stay. I'm going to do both for the minute. So I'm going to do Thanos. So the way I tend to do it, I'll hold the top half of the model, something like his hand and stuff like that, while I'm doing the lower half, his legs, the base. And then I can actually hold it and then let that dry for a minute or so, then hold it by the bottom. Same with this, I'll hold this and then oh, a bit of a blockage, he said. It's not good. Let's have a bit of moisture in the that fixed it. It'll be the smallest bit of muck that's got into the paint, or just a bit of thick paint on it. Doesn't want to play tonight. There we go. He's probably feeling quite jealous because he's not in nice gold shiny paint. Oh, and then I run out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's more to do with it. It's probably just jealous because there's a new gold one in the house. Right, I'm also doing the base of this one. Oop. It is just running out of paint now, which is the... So I've literally held it, so just that bit needs to be painted. I need to do a base which I can't just hold, so I'm going to use one of my pots. Stick it onto the pot like that, so I've got something to, just with blue tack. Find out Thanos should be dry at the bottom. Yeah. Thanos be very done. And that corner there is ready. And that's everything undercoated. So you don't have to have an airbrush to undercoat. You can use an aerosol can if you want. Plenty of places do. Various GW does some. Army Painter does some. Even Vallejo do rattle can primers now. If you can afford a reasonable paint setup and you are doing a lot of priming, you can probably set an airbrush up for about a reasonable setup. I'm not saying a cheap budget setup, but for around about 150 quid. A bottle of the Steinel Res airbrush paint. Which is one of these, which is 28 quid, puts your total bill at round about £180 all in. Yeah, so you get an airbrush, you get a compressor, you get the bits and pieces that you need to put it together, and you get one of those pots of primer, and that primer is the equivalent of over, I think I worked it out last time, over 70 rattle cans. So you spend £700 on rattle cans, or £180 on a... It is a big chunk to do, I will admit that, but the long-term saving on an airbrush setup and stuff like that is phenomenal. And that's how I started. I've said it before, I only started by coming along and using it to prime. That was it. My airbrush was done now. Everything was painted after that by brush. Then I learned zenithal highlighting. Then I used, as time went on, and this is something I was talking to Ash about earlier. We're going to be talking about this after the stream as well, with some plans and pushing forward with stuff. I always go back to a figure that I've got up here, and this is something that I would say to everyone who's just starting out in painting: paint something and put it away. So this is a figure that I painted 15 years ago. Now I'm actually considering looking for one and doing one similar now and matching it and stuff like that. And this was for my Black Templar army. I never played Black Templars. I never played 40k. I just loved the look of what is a Dark Angel, but converted it up. Yes, there's probably some up there, mate. Didn't even think of that. So yeah, I might actually... Yes, that's ideal, Tomo. Keep that, and then go back to it and go, that's the difference in my painting level from now to back then. And it is quite shocking. So today, me and Ronan were playing Frostgrave, and 4 years ago I made a Frostgrave board when the first edition came out. And I did some walls. Snowy's got the wall molds that I made back then. And I made some resin ones, and I made some ones that I did with all the snow effects on. And I was like, cool, they really look brilliant. Well chuffed about them. Played with them. Had quite a few sessions. We've used them in other games as well. And today we got them back out. And I was using them alongside the Frostgrave walls that I did on the live stream. On the charity live stream. Yeah. And I put them side by side. And as a painter, you go from that to this kind of thing. And you don't realise that over 4 or 5 years you've picked up techniques, you've improved your painting, you speed up with your painting. But personally, I hadn't thought of it as being much of an improvement. I thought I was pretty okay back then. I think I'm pretty okay now. But then when you look at them side by side, you're like, yeah, I don't think I was pretty good back then. I think I was marginally acceptable. You don't, though. You will have improved. You'll have picked up more techniques. You'll have learnt stuff. And you've only been painting, technically, because of lockdown and all that sort of stuff, you haven't been painting. I'd say you've got 6 months painting behind you, mate. I'm talking 4 years. And these walls, even when I put them side by side and showed them to Ron, I was like, you don't realise what sort of progress you've made yourself, because you're doing it week in, week out, painting a little bit here, doing a little bit of stuff there, and your painting's improving and you're not realising it, and you're very critical of your own paintwork, and you're sat there going, my paintwork's shite, I don't like that. I do it all the time. It's one of the reasons I've stopped doing commissions as much, because I was never happy with the outcome. A lot of my customers were well over the moon with it, but I was never personally happy with it. Things like Thanos, I picked up loads of new techniques for Thanos, the blue wash, the blue through the airbrush and stuff like that. Never even thought of airbrushes through washes through airbrushes. Never even thought of it. So we did some walls that I'm going to be showing some work on. Now these are printed walls. They're free on Thingiverse, and these were just sprayed with a cream primer, and then that's just Reichland flesh shade in these groovy bits, and then that was Agrax Earthshade through an airbrush. And it's scenery. It doesn't need to be Golden Demon level. There you go, a grey version of it. And it's just something to throw down on the board. We're taking these to show someone to see if it's good enough for line of sight blocking terrain and stuff like that. But it's just quick scenery. They probably took 10 minutes each to paint up, and I've just painted the bases on them tonight, so they didn't look as messy. But they're straight off the 3D printer. that had grey primer, that had the cream primer, and they were the colours that we used. And they've come out, you can see the print lines in them, but as I say, it's scenery. It's going to get bashed about. It's cheap. We could probably do sets similar to this, because we can't commercially do these. These are just examples of what the quality is. But a set of 20 of them, fully painted and ready to go, for about 50 quid. That's like £2 a piece, painted, ready to put down on a table. Go. And yeah, it's decent quality. But go back a year, it would have took go back 2 or 3 years, and I would have cast that up. I would have painted it by hand. Maybe rattle canned the primer on, but then I'd have been doing all of the grooves and stuff like that with a brush, with wash, not with an airbrush in like 30 seconds, just going zit, 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 zit. We did a load of Necron scenery as well, exactly the same, getting the glow effects with, I was just using my Patriot, which I'm using for scenery painting now. You can't look, the green's still on it. And I was just using Warpstone Glow and then Moot Green. Warpstone Glow in a big circle, then Moot Green in a smaller circle in the centre of it, and it gave a great glowing effect, like a light or something like that. And then there was a pyramid piece of scenery, and we did the windows in that and got the glow as if the glow was coming from the bottom of the windows up, and it took seconds with the airbrush, and it's not hard. I would recommend anyone who has place to do it or is painting a lot, get an airbrush. Get an airbrush. They save so much time, they save so much money, and that means you can spend time putting more detail into your miniatures, spending the same amount of time painting them, better results. So yeah, that was today's revelations, believe it or not. I was quite shocked, and even when Ronan saw it, he was quite I say it was quite a difference. And then one day you can get a SOTAR 2020 in gold if you're lucky to find one. And yeah, has to be my favourite airbrush. And the thing is, I've got the red and gold Harder and Steinbeck as well, but that still has to be my favourite. I have a feeling this is dirty. It is. Excuse me one momento. No, Mark. I haven't yet. There's a reason for it. Oh, look at that. Should always clean your airbrush, boys and girls. Do as I say, not as I do. Break it on stream. No, I want to, believe it or not, I want to strip it and clean it before using it. What I'm going to do is do a bit of that with the Harder and Steinbeck now. I'm just checking I haven't bent that at any point. No. So one of the things I tend to do with a new airbrush, if I can get that to go down there, is basically clean it, do what you would do in cleaning it, but then after you've cleaned it for the first time, I've got some stuff called needle juice. And I'm going to use some in here now because I haven't for a while. So it is basically lubricant that doesn't affect paint. So if you just put oil on it, you're going to get yeah, well, yeah, I could do. So carefully trying to get it. So I just drop it into the bottle, put it back in. It'll pick up. Yeah, needle juice. Not now. It's gone. Where's it go? Yeah, and that won't affect it. It feels oily, but it doesn't affect the paint. So I just tend to do that. Run a bit of water through, and then it can go back in its holster. What I need to do with this one is I tend to do the piston as well. So I take the button out, all of the back part out, and then the piston that's got the valve part in it. Just give that a bit of a lubrication as well, because paint does come back up the pot and sometimes will go into the button. If it falls onto the valve section, the valve can actually seize because of hard paint, so you end up having to replace the valve. The good thing with all of these is the parts are available in the UK and they're reasonably priced. I bought a complete rebuild for one of them, so it was the needle and all of the tip parts, and it was 25 quid delivered. So it comes in a tube like that and a little packet like that, but it was the bits to rebuild the full front end, and I say 25 quid's nothing, especially because the damage to it wasn't wear and tear, it wasn't anything like that, it was me actually dropping it. And I bent the needle. When I bent the needle, I dragged it back through the tip and damaged. I put a V in the tip, so me being stupid broke it. I don't know where I've put all the bits away somewhere safe. I can't get the drawers back in. There's that framing bits. Yeah, so there's a pile of spares somewhere in here, ready to do the other two. So yeah. But all of the airbrushes are about the same. That you can buy the bits for them. You can pick up the stuff where you need. That's still wet, so I can't do that. I think it's more getting over the nervousness of pulling an airbrush apart. It's not. Where's the one that I've just been using? So all the airbrushes are about the same. They've got a needle that comes out after undoing that. The back of the body with the paint regulator that I never use. This is what clamps down onto the needle. When you push this back, it pushes a little T-piece there that pushes the needle back, which pulls it out of the seat here. That once you take the needle out, that is loose, so sometimes that gets clogged. If you pull that back, the T-piece is loose and falls out. That has been oiled, so I have done some of it. So when you put it back in, you make sure that the bulge goes towards the back of it. That just dismantles. Just unscrews. And as you can see, there is blue in there from, I can't remember what I sprayed in blue. But at this, if I was stripping it down for a full rebuild, at this point I would take that out. There's a spring in there as well. I'd drop them into a pot, them into a pot, that into a pot. The valve, the air pressure valve, you say that's the quick release bit. That's got a grip there. It's always quite tight because you need to get a good seal on it. That unscrews, goes into the what's it called? The ultrasonic bath on its own, and then the tip breaks down into 4 bits with a very, very, I'm not doing it without my good glasses on, and there's a very, very tiny bit that goes in the end that seats the needle. But it's like anything, it's scary at first. You worry about breaking it, getting something wrong. If you get one and you're worried about it, just give us a shout, ring us, message us. I'll talk you through putting the bits back together. It's not massively difficult. There's a simple way to prove that. I can use one, and if I can use one and pull it apart, put it back together, and it still work, I'm sure anyone out there can. There we go, all back together. So as I say, if I can do it, I'm sure you can. So we're coming up on 9 o'clock. I didn't actually realise the time. I was hoping this would be dry so I could get some washes down on it, but the primer down in the bottom still and underneath. Let's have that turned over on its side. Thanos is done. I will be getting some silvers down onto him, greys down onto all of that, get that washed up, then the metallics built up onto that, and Thanos the same. Thanos will get the metallics all over him and the blues as well. So since we're still waiting for that to dry and there's not much I can do, we're going to call it at that for the night. So we'll be back on next Wednesday. If you're looking for another stream to watch in the meantime, I know Rasta is Monday and Tuesday I'm sure he's Monday, Tuesday next week. I don't know if he's got anything planned for over the weekend. Just keep an eye on his channel. We also have Doom Fairies. I know Doom Fairies have been struggling with internet issues at the moment, but Doom Fairies are on usually on a Friday night, so pop over and grab them. I think it's 9 o'clock they start tomorrow night, or usually start at 9 o'clock on a Friday. So yeah, give them a shout, pop on over to them. In the meantime, I'll just check in case someone bought any live stream pulls before disappearing off. Ooh, is that just a normal sale? That is just a normal sale. So thank you everyone for watching tonight, everyone for donating, the usual subscribing and all that sort of stuff. As usual, it is very much appreciated. Which side to put on there? I will be over on the tanker chat because I've got tank dailies to do today for World of Tanks. Yes, I know I'm addicted, but yeah, if anyone's about, I'll be over there, and we will catch you next Wednesday for hopefully to get some of these finished off. And it's the week before the big giveaway, so we're nearly there, we're getting there. So I shall catch us all soon. Take care, good night all.